Hello and welcome to this segment of Loving Life. I'm Charlie Silva, board certified hypnotist and certified professional life coach. I've helped many people take back control of their life and achieve their goals by asking the following question. Loving life, are you loving yours? If so, wonderful. If not, why not? If there's something that's stopping you from loving your life, what is it? And let's find ways to overcome it. If you missed any previous segments of Loving Life, you can watch them online at the MTN18 website, mtn18.com. Now, during our previous segment of Loving Life, we began looking at how Bruce Feiler, the writer-presenter of the miniseries Walking the Bible and author of several books, including The Council of Dads and The Secrets of Happy Families, began using the Agile Development Program with his family to attempt to enhance his family's dynamics and overall happiness. We saw how the Agile system was created by Jeff Sutherland, a technologist at a financial firm in New England, to more effectively deal with developing projects. Sutherland explained to Bruce that he, Sutherland, decided to use the same system at home to improve his family's interactions with each other. The results were amazing, so Bruce decided to use it with his own family. As he noted, he and his wife were also amazed at their results. By using the Agile system, he learned several lessons regarding how to improve family dynamics and happiness. Now, in this segment of Loving Life, we'll take a look at the lessons he and his family learned. He's taken some ideas from the many families he met during his research, as well as his own family's experience with the system, and is proposing 3 components, or as he refers to them, planks, as to how the Agile family system works. And plank number 1 is adapt all the time. When Bruce became a parent, he figured, you know what? We'll set a few rules and we'll stick to them. Well, he soon realized that way of thinking assumes parents can anticipate every problem that's going to arise. He quickly determined that was not possible. So what's great about the Agile system is you build in a system of change so that you can react to what's happening to you in real time. He says we have to break parents out of this thinking that the only ideas they can try at home are ones that come from psychiatrists or self-help gurus or other so-called family experts. Let's look at an example. Everybody knows that having family dinner with your children is good for the kids. But for so many parents, it doesn't work in their lives. Bruce met a celebrity chef in New Orleans who said, no problem, I'll just time shift family dinner. If I'm not home to make family dinner, we'll have family breakfast, or we'll meet for a bedtime snack. We'll make Sunday meals more important. And Bruce found that recent research backs up the chef's way of dealing with the situation. According to the research, there's only about 10 minutes of productive time in any family meal. The rest of the meal is taken up with take your elbows off the table and pass the ketchup. As Bruce notes, you can take that 10 minutes and move it to any part of the day and have the same benefit. So time-shifting family dinner means you're adapting to the situation in a positive way. The point is there are new ideas out there and parents need to be aware of them. So plank number 1 is adapt all the time. Be flexible, be open-minded, and let the best ideas that work for you win. And plank number 2 is empower your children. Parents typically have an instinct that causes them to order their kids around. As Bruce notes, it's easier and frankly, the parents are usually right. But the single biggest lesson he learned during his research is to enlist the children in their own upbringing as much as possible. As an example, he mentions how recently during a family meeting, they had voted to work on how they overreacted to certain situations. So they discussed types of rewards and punishments. Now, one of his daughters suggested that each person gets 5 minutes of overreacting time all week. The family agreed to it, but then her sister started asking about the system. She asked, do I get 1 5-minute overreaction, or can I get 10 30-second overreactions? Bruce loved that question. His response was she could spend the time however she wanted. He then asked them what they believed the punishment should be if they went over the 5 minutes. They agreed that for every minute above that, they have to do 1 push-up. He explains that this system is not lax. There's plenty of parental authority going on. But he and his wife are giving their children practice becoming independent, which of course is any parent's ultimate goal. He explains that a few days after his family decided on addressing the overreaction situation, one of his daughters started overreacting about something. The other daughter said, "Overreaction, overreaction," and started counting. And within 10 seconds, the overreaction had ended. And research backs up this way of raising children. Children who plan their own goals, set weekly schedules, and evaluate their own work take more control over their lives. As Bruce notes, the point is parents need to let their children succeed on their own terms, and yes, on occasion, fail on their own terms. So the bottom line of this second plank is empower your children. And the final plank, plank number 3, is tell your story. According to Bruce, adaptability is fine, but you also need bedrock, the foundation of who you are within a family. Jim Collins, the author of Good to Great, told Bruce that successful human organizations of any kind have 2 things in common. They preserve the core and they stimulate progress. So the Agile system is great for stimulating progress, but Bruce kept hearing time and again, you need to preserve the core. So how do you do that? Collins coached him on doing something that most successful businesses do. Define your mission and identify your core values. So he led Bruce and his family through the process of creating a family mission statement. They did the family equivalent of a corporate retreat. They had a great conversation focusing on what's important to them and what values they most uphold. They ended up with 10 statements to which the entire family agreed. Now, research shows that parents should spend less time worrying about what they do wrong and more time focusing on what they do right. Worry less about the bad times and build up the good times. A family mission statement is a great way to identify what it is that you do right. Now, a few weeks after developing the family mission statement, they got a call from their daughter's school. One of their daughters had gotten into an argument at school, and suddenly Bruce was worried. Did they have a mean girl on their hands? So he and his wife called their daughter into his office at home. Now, the family mission statement was on the wall, and his wife asked the daughter, "So, does anything up there seem to apply?" And the daughter looked down the list and said, "Bring people together." Suddenly, they had a way into the conversation. Another great way to tell your story is to tell your children where they came from. Researchers at Emory gave children a simple, "What do you know?" test. Do you know where your grandparents were born? Do you know where your parents went to high school? Do you know anybody in your family who had a difficult situation, an illness, and they overcame it? The children who scored highest on this "do you know" scale had the highest self-esteem and a greater sense they could control their lives. The "do you know" test was the single biggest predictor of emotional health and happiness. As the author of the study told Bruce, children who gave a sense of being part of a larger narrative have greater self-confidence. So the final plank is tell your story. Spend time retelling the story of your family's positive moments and how you overcame the negative ones. If you give children this happy narrative, you give them the tools to make themselves happier. And Bruce concluded his presentation by stating that happiness is not something we find, it's something we make, something we choose to make. Almost anybody who's looked at well-run organizations has come to pretty much the same conclusion. Greatness is not a matter of circumstance, it's a matter of choice. You don't need some grand plan. You just need to take small steps, accumulate small wins, and realize that God has given each of us a very precious gift, the gift of free will. With this gift, we have the power to either choose to be happy or not to be happy. So what's the secret to a happy family and life? Choose to be happy and happiness will naturally happen. Be sure to check my website for upcoming Take Back Control of Your Life workshops. The workshops are free of charge. If you have goals you'd like to achieve but have been unable to do so, attending one of my workshops may be all you need to take back control of your life. Well, I'm sure I've given you some things, positive things, to think about. Send any questions or comments you have to me at charlie@mtn18.com, and I'll answer them in future segments of Loving Life. I'm Charlie Silva, and I'm asking you, loving life, are you loving yours? If so, wonderful. If not, why not? If there's something that is stopping you from loving your life, what is it? And let's find ways to overcome it. Always remember that you are awesome. Have a wonderful day filled with love and gratitude.